That's funny. Well, I thought it might be kind of important if we
Yeah,
do that
yeah,
as
it would.
well.
It'll
Yeah.
it'll make the gag reel someday.
100th episode, we'll play all our
I
mistakes.
can't
Yeah,
even.
the
There you go.
DVD
That's coming up
outtakes.
fast.
Yeah, it is. We're at 94.
I know.
Well,
That's pretty awesome.
Listeners, our faithful listener.
Who's promoting on our behalf on
Yes.
social media. Thank you, loyal listener.
We should bring him into the podcast, into this inner workings, just so he knows what's going on and can promote and do research for us.
There you go.
Doesn't he already?
Producer.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what they call that? Producer in the podcasting world?
I believe so. Or in the radio world.
In the radio world, which is, podcasting world is the logical internet extension.
Exactly.
So Wits End is opening today,
Yes.
and
So
I'm
why not?
closing.
Are you?
It says I am, but
Yes,
I don't
you
have
are.
to. If you,
No, feel free.
I will.
Unless somebody else jumps in and takes it.
You know, that can happen. Just because
never
you have a name in
happens.
front of it does not mean you're actually doing that part.
Not at all.
You just never
The
know.
fast and the quiet.
Well, let's play some music, record a podcast, and pretend like we know what we're doing.
That sounds like fun.
I got a badge in that.
Here we go.
Oh, yes. Welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the great Pacific Northwest. We'll talk about caches and caches unique to this little corner of the country. So get your calendar and your map ready to mark up. It's time to go caching in the Northwest.
That's right, folks. Now, tonight, we're going to help you build your summertime adventure plan of attack. We'll equip you with the Northwest geocaching information you need to go capture all those souvenirs and do it in style. Now, speaking of doing things in style, some say he heads up creek without a paddle, and others say it's just fancy video editing. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
He is called the Land Monkey. And he also answers to many other things. But we're going to stick with Land Monkey for now. Hey,
We're not
listeners,
allowed to say those on a family-friendly podcast.
Not until enough Jose has been consumed. Hey, listeners, we have been enjoying hearing from you about your favorite caches and caching locations in the Northwest in your own voice each week on our podcast. So please, please keep it up.
Oh, yes, please do. And last week we had Look at Lisa and Kid Vegas 19 share their favorite Northwest caches. Who will be in the CNW spotlight this week?
Well, wait no longer. Or just a little bit longer.
This Angel, and my favorite cache is Let Us Pass Over the River by Erosik.
Well,
There you go.
have it.
All right.
So, we've brought back the Caching in the Northwest tradition to play audio from you, our amazing listener. So, there we have more than one now.
Yes.
Sharing your favorite cache or caching location. Record it from the cache itself. Record it from the backseat of a Chevy Nova. We don't mind where. We just want to hear about those great caches you're out there finding. Just record the audio, send it to us at feedback@cachingnw.com, or call in to 253-693-TFTC and leave your message there. We're looking for about 15 seconds of audio. That's enough to say your geocaching name, the GC code, the name of the cache, and why you liked it. If we play it on an episode, you're going to win some cool swag.
You might win some cool swag. I don't think you'll win a Chevy Nova, however. But do have a lot of memories of a Chevy Nova. I learned to drive in a Chevy Nova my dad owned. So, gentlemen, and I use the term loosely. No, I don't. How was your week? Did you go and get any geocaching, any adventures, geocaching or otherwise, in this week?
Well, you know what? I know everybody will be surprised to hear that Mrs. Land Monkey and I actually did get a geocaching adventure in. But last weekend, for Mother's Day, Mrs. Land Monkey specifically said, I want to go find this cache. And we needed to get the kayak out. And so we went and found a rarely found mystery cache on an island in the Fraser River. And folks, if you want to see that, you can check out that adventure on episode 85 of Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventures. It's called Lost on the Fraser River on YouTube. However, we are also, yeah, it was cool. Thank you. That was a lot of fun. We are looking forward to a long weekend, at least for those of us in Canada coming up. And we're going to have some geocaching fun. We may even try and sneak out of town a bit and complete some more of the Gold Country Geo Tour caches.
Those are really cool. The whole idea of geotours, it's really starting to catch on. And the Gold Country ones are done well.
They really are.
Now, last week we had a very busy episode, so I didn't get to tell you much about what we had done the week prior to that. So about 2 weeks ago was a busy weekend for us. I was able to attend a very apropos event for the weekend. If you remember, 2 weeks ago was the 15th anniversary of geocaching and the Star Wars Day, which came up on Monday, May 4th. So it was a Star Wars-themed geocaching event. Now, I don't know if everybody knows that May 4th is International Star Wars Day. You know, may the 4th be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard not to continue the lisp after you start that.
Well, and on that note, May the 5th is the dark side.
Yes.
Revenge of the 5th.
Revenge of the 5th, yes. Now, my son and I were able to attend the event. We found the lab caches that were there. Those were pretty cool. And then we went and saw that new Avengers movie. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Always
Any
good to
spoilers
get
you
out
want to throw
with
out?
family.
Yes, the Avengers are in it. And the bad guy, I'm going to give it away, is Ultron.
Ah.
Wow.
Okay? Really good movie. So
That means
They kill off the
absolutely
Hulk.
nothing to me.
even with the spoilers?
Even with the spoilers, I have no idea who Ultron is, and I probably couldn't name half of the Avengers off the top of my head. But
How can you live in this society?
I know. Do I have to sign off and leave now?
No. Did you find any caches?
I didn't find any caches on Mother's Day, nor actually any caches in the past week or so, but I did find a cache fairly recently, at least for my recent standards. I know Land Monkey's recent standards include the last 12 and a half minutes, but if I found a cache in the last month, that's good for me. As I mentioned and we talked about, I think on a podcast, I've chaperoned several 8th grade tours of Washington, D.C. over the past several years, and this year was no different. I took a bunch of 8th graders to Washington, D.C., and we toured a lot of historic sites, including the Gettysburg Battlefield, which is in Pennsylvania. That actually, I didn't know that at first. I was so Civil War ignorant the first time I went, I didn't even know what state Gettysburg was in. However, I've learned a lot about Gettysburg since then, and I looked at my geocaching logs before I went this year and realized I didn't have a Pennsylvania find. So I decided to try to change that this year. There aren't a lot of geocaches near the Gettysburg Visitor Center, nor any place within walking distance of the restaurant that we frequent, and I'm working when I'm there, chaperoning students. I really can't just take off on my own for an hour and go find something. So I tried to find something very close to where we were already going to be. And as it turned out, there was a cache at a place called Little Round Top. Civil War buffs will know that well. And I decided this is what I was going to do because we stopped there every year on the tour. And it happened to be an Earth cache, which would make Land Monkey extremely proud of me. And it'd give me a Pennsylvania souvenir in my geocaching log. So I decided
I'm very proud of you, Wits End.
Thank you. I was hoping you would be. I decided, okay, I've been to Little Round Top 6 times prior. I know a lot about it. I read the cache description up there, and I saw the sites listed that you're supposed to find and document and note to log and find the geocache, the Earth cache, and I thought I can do this. We go every year. This year we pulled up. and the parking lot was full of tour buses and school buses and tourist cars, which isn't too abnormal. But this year, our battlefield guide said, "Hey, it looks kind of crowded here. Let's go down the road a ways and park at a different spot." And I thought to myself, no, you can't do that. I've got a cache to find. Are you kidding me? So, needless to say, that didn't enter into the guide's plans for the day. So we stopped at this other place and we walked down to this other monument marking a spot on near Little Round Top, and I made sure all of my kiddos were in safely with the tour guide listening to his spiel, and I hoofed it up the trail, uphill at altitude, which for wit's end is a lot of work, and crazily snapped photographs of all the things I knew I needed to document for the Earth Cache find. Took documents of anything that had printed guides and documentations and information on it in case there was something I missed. Ran back down the hill and arrived back at the tour bus about the time the kids were loading the bus, and they all looked calm and refreshed and enjoyed the view, and I was huffing and puffing and looked like I'd run a half marathon. But
because you had
geocache. Exactly. So
that's awesome. And when Wits End was sharing this story with us before the show, listeners, I said, A, you've got to tell that story on the show, and B, I said, honestly, sometimes it's just how you have to find virtuals and Earth caches.
He left out the
just
part where he pushed the old ladies and small children out of his way when he was running back to the house.
No, that never happened.
Oh.
But I did a fair amount of bushwhacking on the edges of the trail to get past said old ladies and small children. So no children or old ladies
small
were injured.
dogs.
That's right. No people were injured. I can't say the same for the foliage.
That's awesome. Hey, well, while we were bantering about our geocaching recent experiences, depending upon how one defines recent, we also heard from some of the folks in our Q&A. So awesome, folks. We really appreciate you chiming in. We heard from Wet Coaster, who said that Greenwords wanted to get GC2PHF8. That's a mouthful. It's the 100-star challenge cache. Challenge caches. There won't be any new ones for a year. So she wanted to do that on Mother's Day. Awesome. So, of course, we went and made the find. They had both qualified for the challenge. That sounds like fun.
Very cool. And Banana Sauce also chimes in and asks, how can you do a podcast about geocaching and still have time to go out geocaching? And, as flattered as I am that the quality of this production here leads you to believe that we spend every waking second preparing for it, we do still manage to find a few minutes to get out and cache.
Believe it or not. Also, Mr. LePage adds that the Bell Tower on Parliament Hill played the Imperial March on May 4th.
Very cool.
That's awesome. Hey, that's a local cacher. I'm pretty sure that's 3 hams in a rows.
3 hams in a rows. That's it.
There you go.
So.
All right. So, if I may, we do have a little bit of news. We have some local geocaching news. Well, local if you are in my neck of the woods, not in Tacoma. And so if I may share that from the city of Surrey, British Columbia. City of Surrey, BC is hosting an afternoon of geocaching for the family. They were doing this twice. The first one was today. So it was a little late to announce it on our show, so I just kind of blew past that. And I also have to shout out thanks to Wet Coaster, who brought this story to our attention. City of Surrey, BC is hosting Afternoon of Geocaching for the Family. It is going to be in South Surrey Athletic Park. The address is 14600 20th Avenue. That is Thursday, May 28th, from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. They encourage folks who may not have been out geocaching yet to come out and try it out, or if you have tried it a couple of times but you're still struggling with some ideas of it, to come out. They're going to be providing instructions. Maximum of 2 GPS units per family will be provided. They ask you to give them 40 if you're not going to be able to attend, so obviously they want to have you register that you will attend before 48 hours, so like today, and let them know about that. Plan to dress for the weather. if you want to know more, we'll put the link in our show notes. It's really too long for me to share on the air and make any sense because it's quite cryptic. But if you go to the website, www.surrey.ca/culture-recreation, you will find this on that page and be able to check it out. And yeah, or, if you're an experienced geocacher and you look at this and go, "Pah, I don't need that," send your friends.
I've never said "pa." No.
That is really cool, and I like the idea they have GPSRs to hand out for the people to use, because really that's a big barrier to starting geocaching. Is I don't have anything, I don't know how to use anything. What do I get? And here.
Yeah, it's not as big a barrier nowadays and with smartphones, but it is still a barrier for a lot of people.
That's true. So that's really cool. Now, geocachers, the ones that are listening, remember to write in or call us about your geocaching adventures and where you've gone exploring.
That's right, because as nice as those shiny digital trophies are, this here geocaching hobby thing, it's really about the places you see, the people you meet, the things you do, and all that kind of stuff. Getting out and doing things and seeing things. By the way, speaking of seeing things, doing things, one other side note about my trip to Washington, D.C., I found in the Air and Space Museums an actual Japanese balloon bomb that we talked about way back on a recent podcast, 85, 86, I don't know.
I want to say 86.
Anyway, 86, that sounds about right. It's about that era. If you don't know which one it was, go back and listen to all of them until you find it. And those are up on facebook.com/witsend, and you can see pictures of the thing and actually a ugly geocacher host standing next to one of them. So,
just for size
on
reference.
that note,
yeah,
just for size reference, yeah. So let's get down to business, shall we?
Let's do that. So recently, geocaching.com has encouraged all of us to take a geocaching road trip this summer and collect more souvenirs, because we all want more souvenirs. Well, good listeners, we want to work with you to help you do exactly that and more. We've rounded up some of our top recommendations for how you can have an amazing summer geocaching. And hey, get some souvenirs to boot.
Yes, so from geocaching.com, they report, over the next few months, we'll all be going on a geocaching journey to celebrate, get this, 15 years of geocaching. Can you believe it's been that long?
Makes you feel old, doesn't it?
I already feel old. But yes, thank you for making,
Oh,
thank you for offering that. That's the only thing that makes me feel old. You'll have the opportunity to complete 5 geocaching quests. Doesn't that sound regal? Each of which will earn you a special souvenir for your geocaching profile. Complete all 5 and you'll earn a 6th extra special souvenir. And if I've learned anything, closely at those souvenirs and see. They do some fun things with those. The last few are any indication. After each quest begins, you'll be able to complete it and earn your souvenir until September 2nd, 2015. So, pack your bag, load up your snacks, set up your road trip playlist, because here are your quests, and their start dates.
But bring
June
a guest.
19th. Yes, bring a guest on your quest. They're the best. Have some zest.
Not like the rest.
Not like the rest. Okay. What
Surely
next?
you guessed.
Yes. June 19th. And these all end on September 2nd. So June 19th starts the quest. Find a geocache with 10 or more favorite points. It's often the way I look for a cache in a new city I'm visiting anyway. It's a good place to find it. July 3rd, attend an event, a mega event, or a giga event. And I believe the geocaching block party, the last one there'll ever be, happens in that time span. July 17th, I might throw out that's Disneyland's birthday, 1955. July 17th, find a Terrain 5 or Difficulty 5 geocache. Those are a little harder to come by, but they're out there. July 31st, find an Earth cache. So if you find yourself in the Gettysburg, Pennsylvania area, I highly recommend Little Round Top.
And a little
or you
jog
can also
is needed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, yeah, unless you're riding with a different battlefield tour guide that stops in the normal spot, then you're fine. Not that I'm bitter. You can also attend a CITO, like a cache in, trash out event for July 31st. And finally, August 14th, I'll just leave it a mystery. No, find a mystery cache. So those are your quests.
Bum.
Bum, bum, bum. So there you go. Sounds like a lot of fun. Some new souvenirs, some new adventures. And as we mentioned, do it with a friend. Do it with a guest. Go out in the group and have some fun.
I thought you were going to rhyme there. I was just waiting.
I was waiting for it too.
Have some fun, and now I'm done.
Okay. So, if you fine folks recall, the interview we did with Eric from geocaching.com a couple episodes back, he said then that you'll want to get your calendars out and start planning your adventures for the summer. So, tonight we're going to help you with quest number 2. That's attending an event. Or a mega event anytime after July 3rd, but before September 2nd.
That's right. All of these are before September 2nd. You know, it's great to get out to a fun event and get a souvenir for it. Doesn't get much better than that. But maybe you want to have some warm-up events first to get practiced and warmed up. What do you think?
I love it. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is right around the corner. When I say right around the corner, I mean this weekend. So if you're listening to this not live, you've already missed it.
Yeah.
You're so hosed.
I know. But we have talked about it before and gave you plenty of warning. This is the Flight Cache Design Challenge at the Museum of Flight. So the Museum of Flight
really cool.
is on Boeing property, am I right? Or is it on Boeing property? I don't know. It's right there next to...
I think it's on the Boeing property, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
Boeing Field, yeah.
Right there at Boeing Field, right next to the 737 assembly lines. Really cool. If you've never been to the Museum of Flight and you're a geocacher, there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't go to this event. So
Richard Garriott will be there, right?
Exactly. Who is Lord British. He's the one who's placed the geocache on the space station and way down in the Marianas Trench outside of Alaska.
Let's go find the space station one this summer. That'll be our adventure road trip.
Okay.
That's at least got to be a
difficulty
D5.
5, right? Yeah.
I would think so.
5 because it's not a nice spot to work.
No.
So back in April, they had a contest to design the first geocache for the Museum of Flight. And now, this weekend, they're going to unveil the winning design, and, Richard Garriott will be there to do that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, that's some pretty high honor there in the geocaching world.
That's very cool. Speaking of people who are going to be there, is anybody from our show going to be able to make that event?
I'm going. I'm planning to go.
There
so I will be there.
Quota fulfilled.
One. Yeah.
Awesome. If you get a chance to capture
to
a little bit of audio.
I definitely will.
Okay, that's too bad.
I'll see if I can interview Lord British.
Please do.
That would be super cool.
What's the worst he's going to say? No? It's like nobody.
Then you can just say, do you know who I am? Like,
it's usually followed by security.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you've been there, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, it'd be, how did you get in here? Security? Never mind.
Hey, well, I want to just point out something. I had a little comment that came from the UK in our Q&A here, asking if Canadians are allowed in space. I want to point out that the arm on the International Space Station and the arms used on the shuttles by our American cousins were manufactured and designed by Canadians. The Canada arm, baby.
Yeah.
Eat it.
I always said Canadarm, which I actually saw there at the Air and Space Museum.
Oh, they have one there?
See?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
the Shuttle Discovery is there.
Who is the most famous astronaut to date, or not to date, in most recent history?
Probably a Canadian, I would say.
No, he's a Canadian. Yes. Anyway.
That's our question, to see who can answer that.
Oh, there you go.
Anyways. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. I thought you liked Canadians. Why the slam?
I don't know. Wet Coaster says, record him saying no. You know, I just may be able to do that.
Funny.
Excuse me. Can you say no? Thank you.
We're going to use this on our show a lot.
Yeah, a lot. No.
Anything else on the Flight Cache Design Challenge?
I don't think there's anything left.
No? Okay. We've run that one right into the ground. I just didn't want to start another topic if we're...
we didn't run that one into the ground. It never really took off.
And speaking of things that take off, well, just before I get into the next one, we do have quite a number of folks who are pointing out that Chris Hadfield is the astronaut in question.
Very cool.
So that's Dora Moore, Bri Lang, Wet Coaster, all chiming in there. So way to go, guys. Represent. Okay. So moving along in time, still an event that would be a warm-up event, so you wouldn't get a souvenir for it, but I would suggest seriously considering going and attending this, is on June 20th, the Mount Vernon Parks 2015 GeoCoin Challenge. The GC code is GC5HH0X. It is their second annual event. They're celebrating Mount Vernon's 125th birthday and the summer solstice, all in one amazing weekend. 3 days of events, in fact. Friday night, they have the Travel Bug Social, where they will have a bug hunt where scattered around historic downtown and the brand new River Walk are 10 travel bugs to hunt and discover. A trackable tag is awarded if you find them, and you also get to log the bugs and the event itself. So lots of, for those who like to collect travel bug discoveries, that would be a great event. So that's the Friday night. Saturday is the main event. It starts at Hillcrest Park. Cachers are going to check in, get their log books, and head out to the Mount Vernon Parks. The object is to find 10 brand new caches. Upon finding those, return your logbook to the Hillcrest Lodge or the admin office and receive a geocoin. That's right, folks. 10 caches. As many caches as on your fingers and thumbs or all your toes if you haven't had any accidents. And you get a geocoin. So how cool is that? And there will also be food trucks on site for lunch break and prize raffle gifts donated by local businesses. What a great event. And it continues. The fun just keeps going. Sunday is going to start off with a CETO event to remove invasive ivy. Now, any geocachers I know who've been to an ivy pull, you know how much fun an ivy pull is. But you know what? Bring your gloves. They're only going to run it for 2 hours. And again, this is one of those things where many hands make for light work to a degree. Ivy pull is just a lot of work, but yeah, it's a good thing to happen, and it's really a great way to give back to the park, who are doing a lot to put this event on for geocachers. So that's fantastic. That is going to be followed by a second geocoin event, and that one is sponsored by the Mount Vernon Arts Commission and other local art. Other local art will be the focus of that second geocoin that's going to be awarded. Logbooks will be provided. There will be another series of things you need to find, but this time you need to locate pieces of art. So it's kind of like virtual caches. And you complete the logbook, return it, and you get a limited edition Mount Vernon Arts geocoin with only 100 coins being minted. So hey, be the first out there. So that looks like just a fantastic, awesome, fun weekend, and I will tell you that it is in the plans currently for the Land Monkeys to at least be attending the Saturday, if not some more.
That'd be very cool. I haven't looked that far in my calendar, but I think it's about halfway between Tacoma and Vancouver, so we may try to join you there and meet in the middle. That'd be fun.
That would be awesome.
You know, I picked events that I wanted to talk about on the show that I'm going to. I really want to do a lot of events this summer. So I think this is going to be fun. I'm planning to do this one as well. I mean, 10 geocaches and you get a coin. Really? How can you not do that?
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
And that's a warm-up for the GeoCoin Challenge the next weekend, which we talked about in depth just on the last episode of this here very podcast. It's on June 27th, and it is the Tri-Cities GeoCoin Challenge. There you can enjoy a free, family-friendly weekend for new and experienced geocachers. They've got something for everybody. You can travel around Tri-Cities, including West Richland.
That's the fourth
which
of
is
the three cities.
Fourth of the Tri-Cities. It's like Surf 2, the end of the trilogy. To find approximately 30 geocaches and earn trackable GeoCoin puzzle pieces. This year's event will also include a lab cache, and those who complete the challenge will receive the coin base and 4 X's, each trackable that magnetically attach, one for each of the 4 cities participating this year. X marks the spot. Kids 12 and under who complete the challenge will receive a prize as well, and get this, Signal the Frog will appear throughout the weekend.
Woo-hoo.
Some hosts of this podcast may also appear. You just never know.
You just never know. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
So, soon after that, we're into July 18th.
So these ones now count, right? Once you're in July?
Let's see.
For the souvenir.
Attend event
The souvenir
July
was
3rd, yeah. So the first one that really counts, the others are just warm-ups, right?
Yes,
The first one,
stretch.
Well, they count for coins and they count for things. They just don't count in the summer events that geocaching.
Yeah, so geocaching.com, Eric, Brian, don't take this the wrong way, but I kind of think the ones where you're going out and getting a geocoin and most importantly meeting the hosts from Caching in the Northwest probably count more than the souvenir, but still get your souvenir.
well, the souvenir is a memorable thing for your phone, but we're memorable for the rest of your life.
That's right.
Yeah,
We stick on you like bad
stick
odor.
with you. So, July 18th is the Metro Vancouver Geocachers Summertime Winter Games 2015. I still getting my head around this.
Fortunately, to help us get our heads around it, coming up in a few episodes, we will have one of the key planners for that event on our show.
Who is in the chat room this very evening.
That's right.
So we may have a word or two. But anyway, geo-athletes from all over the Lower Mainland and beyond will meet in New Westminster to demonstrate their physical prowess, their mental skills, and their ability to work as a team. It's a full-day event running from 10 in the morning till about 3 in the afternoon, and Metrovan Geocaching will provide drinks and snacks for everyone, but please bring your own picnic lunch.
There you go.
I
I like that you're allowing non-Canadians to participate too.
We encourage non-Canadians to participate.
I don't know if it says that directly on the website.
Well, I think that's the
No,
end.
we were asked to remove that.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious though about a full day event, but only 10 to 3, because
well, yeah.
the daylight hours are really long in the summertime up here.
I think you should save that question for when Dora Moore's on the show. I think she'll probably have a really good answer for you, because now she's got a couple of weeks to prep.
That's why I threw it out there, to give her time to prep.
Well, the athlete registration begins at 10. Opening ceremony start at 10:30 with special guests from, get this, the Caching in the Northwest podcast, Lighting the Cauldron.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Wow.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
I know. These are cool people. I mean, I want to get their autograph. The games are for geo-athletes of all ages. You can expect a snowball fight, winter-themed relays, a snowman building contest, winter team puzzle geocache challenge. I threw in the word geocache. It wasn't there in the reading. And the Geocachers Biathlon. Also, there's a series of puzzle caches geared to the young geocachers and the young at heart who want to attend, with additional souvenir prizes.
It's cool.
You know,
I want to do the biathlon, but I can't bring my gun.
You can in Canada. You can take your gun to the mall. They don't
Not
care.
across the border.
That's not across the border. No.
So I'm just thinking about this now. This is the first time this has occurred to me. All those folks who live south of the 49th parallel and have this weird thing about Canada that you cross the border and the snow starts, we're probably not helping that whole image with this event.
Especially when Dora Moore says it's going to be frosty fun.
But it will be, and it's amazing the way that she has planned to do winter-themed events in the middle of what will be a very warm summer up here. It's really cool, and it's going to be awesome. I'm very stoked for it.
It is the Great Bike North, eh?
It sure is, eh? We've got a fair bit of activity in the QA. Before we get to the next event, do we want to jump into some of that?
Certainly. Banana Sauce says he stands corrected on the whole Canadian in space.
Is he actually standing right now?
Probably standing at attention, yes.
I can't tell from the profile picture, but yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we'll
Mr.
play the
Lion
anthem
Monkey,
later.
I think you need to read the next one.
He is asking, this is Banana Sauce again. I wonder if any Canadian astronauts, I misread that. I wonder if any Canadian astronauts' first words in space were, Canada, Canada, oi, oi. Hopefully I said that correctly. Canada, Canada, oi, oi. Something like that.
I was quite moved.
Probably
when you
not.
said it, so.
That's my best impersonation I can do of Sam. Doesn't get any better than that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Barlang says when you cross the border, there's totally a 6-foot high snowbank, and they all live in igloos. How can you say otherwise, Land Monkey?
Totally.
And Dora Moore says the temperature will drop from 72 degrees to 20 degrees. That's how we know where to put the border.
Ah. That's that. I thought it just dropped from Fahrenheit to centigrade.
Yeah. It's
the same thing.
Yeah.
That's that 52 degrees difference.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Let's go on.
Actually, before we do, Dora Moore actually had a serious question in there. I think it's a good one to throw out.
It is.
She says, if you find a mystery cache that has a D5 rating, do you get 2 souvenirs for that cache? If you find it, so you would be looking, that would be in like the last couple of weeks, I believe, is when the mystery cache quest is on. And yes, my answer is going to be yes, you would, because the way the system worked the last time with the souvenirs, you could do combinations like that. So great question, and I say yes.
So she's going to save that one up, right?
Yeah, and if she doesn't get the souvenir, she's going to blame me.
You can give her your souvenir. Just take
if
a
it doesn't
snapshot
work
on your phone and email it to her.
I'll take her out for a D5 cache or a T5 cache.
Ooh.
There you go. That's only if it doesn't work. Anyways.
All right.
Anything else? We want to get back to our list here, guys?
I think so. I think we need to start in August.
All right. So looking at August 1st, there is an event coming up. The Washington State Geocaching Association has their 12th annual summer campout. That sounds like a lot of fun. That is a weekend of camping fun, July 31st through August 2nd, 2015, obviously. The Puget Sound chapter, with an assist from the Olympic Peninsula chapter, are putting this on. It is going to be at Manchester State Park. I'm not sure where that is. It is an 111, not 11 acre, 111 acre. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little tight. 111 acre camping park with 3,400 feet of saltwater shoreline on Rich Passage in Puget Sound. Nestled in woods of fir and maple, Bainbridge Island is visible from the beach. Okay, so there's some.
So if you're in
geographic
Tacoma,
cues.
it's northwest. If you're in Seattle, it's southwest.
Yeah. It's up on the peninsula.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
There will be a number of activities: boating, diving, saltwater fishing, bird watching, horseshoe pit, bring your own horseshoes, mountain biking, volleyball net,
Bring your own pit.
wildlife viewing, several hiking trails. I'm going to assume that there's going to be geocaching. There is one interpretive display inside a former torpedo warehouse. That's kind of cool. Who can attend? Everyone, members or non-members. Come for the day, spend the weekend. What's it? Come for the geocaching, stay
Very
for the
cool.
offensiving.
Yeah.
Saturday
If we're
dinner.
mixing podcasts, yes.
Okay, there you go.
Cache
There's
safely,
a
offensive often.
There you go.
Oh, wait, something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but
There's a dinner on Saturday. WSGA will provide hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, and beverages. Anything else you want is potluck. Camping, probably the most important thing to know. There is a reserve on the group site, which accommodates up to 130 people and 12 RVs. They've also reserved 2 additional RV sites near the campground. So really, I think the bottom line here is get your will attend in early.
Yeah.
Check-in for the event starts at 3 p.m. on Friday. Check-out is noon on Sunday. No, there are no site assignments for the tent camping. And yeah, all the details are on the cache page. The GC code, you want to know that. That is GC5MDTF. So yeah, check that event out. That is a great way to spend the August long weekend.
Very nice.
And just, after you get back from that, you'll have a little time to deal with your sunburn and your bug bites before August 15th and the block party. Do we really need to talk about
this
the
block party thing you speak of? I don't understand.
Well, it's a party all about Minecraft.
That's right.
Oh,
And
excellent.
you're dealing with blocks. No,
Blockheads?
All I'm saying is if you miss
Blockheads.
it, you won't get to go another one.
that's right. This will
You're-
be the last block party.
Yeah.
Once
So-
again, hosed.
Yeah.
There's a recurring theme.
Yes, exactly. So, head on over to the block party. Your Caching in the Northwest host will be there. As we
Yes.
always are, we've been at every block party. If you haven't been there and seen us, you missed it. So come this year, see us, shake our hands. We're just people like you.
In fact, do we want to throw out that if you come by our booth, we will record your audio of your favorite Northwest cache or caching
That's right.
location?
Yes. And we may have some giveaways.
Giveaways. What kind of
Giveaways.
giveaways would we possibly have? Are they surprises?
Those are things we give away.
Oh,
Oh, that's how that works. It's like swag, stuff we all get.
that's right.
That's stuff we all give. The same thing, right? So
Stuff we are giving.
Oh, stuff we are giving.
Nice. Nice one. I love it.
It's the same stuff we all get.
Yeah.
But it's always better to give than to get. I'm paraphrasing
Moving
Christmas. Moving on. So, block party, August 15th. Followed by...
That's gonna be-
And before we do the followed by, I'm going to say block party, August 15th. Be there.
Yeah,
And
really.
that is followed by August 16th, which is why it follows the 15th, because it's the very next day. And I am so good at math, I knew that. Is the Going Ape event. Now, if you listened to our podcast on a regular basis, you will have heard an awesome interview that the Bad Cop did with one of the hosts of the Going Ape event,
That was Hide and Seek, who
Hide and Seek. Thank you.
was at the time the WSGA president. She has since stepped down.
Right, she was the outgoing. I remember that in the interview.
Yes.
That's right, man. Awesome. So,
What's
Going-
almost better? If you go back far enough, the Bad Cop did an interview with the ape.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
it's like episode 3 or something like that.
It's a ways back there.
It's a way. I've done two interviews with the actual ape from the Ape Cache.
Yes.
Perhaps it's time to do another
Yes, of course.
On August 16th.
on August 16th at the Going Ape event, which is GC5F58Q. It is the 6th annual Going Ape Mega event. Yes, a mega event held in conjunction with the Geocaching Block Party, because it happens in an adjacent manner. And also because it is well supported by the good folks at geocaching.com. So the Ape Cache itself is found, well, actually the Ape Cache itself is not found anymore, but the replacement Ape Cache is found in the rugged snow-capped Cascade Mountains, just a short drive from Seattle, where you can walk through the spooky 2-mile-long Tunnel of Light. In there you can, or once you're through the tunnel, you can find one of the oldest caches in Washington. You can also visit the Ape Tribute Cache, because the original is gone. And there's rumors that Sasquatch and Fen Dweller have been sighted in the area, so be careful if you're going to be going there. And yes, as we said, the beloved Ape Cache was stolen and archived in 2011, but as they say, we discovered we didn't need the original cache to still have a good time.
That's right.
So lots of stuff going on at this event. I won't get into all the details, but it will be a lot of fun. It runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday, August 16th at the Hyack Trailhead in Iron Horse State Park at Snoqualmie Pass. Boy, Iron Horse is really a theme tonight for you, Bad Cop.
It really is. Yeah, that was the Iron Horse I was referring to. Apparently in Maine, there's another, or Michigan, there's another Iron Horse trail. So apparently many of the rails to trails, is that right, are named Iron Horse. Who knew?
Why not?
There you
It's
go.
like it's referring to trains or something.
No, it's referring to horses made of iron.
To the horse.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the horse that helped build it.
Like everything is literal. I don't know why this is such a problem for everyone else. The world is black and white. Oh dear.
Oh, there was one. I just lost it. There was
Because I railroaded you.
Q&A.
The best way to do the ape event was the car
Well,
both ends of the
that's
trail.
the one that popped up and pushed the other
Yeah.
one away, and I didn't find it. So
Uh-oh.
go ahead. You already read it.
Yeah, go for it. What's in?
Oh, it's just Dormore chimes in and says the best way to do the ape event is with a car at both ends of the trail. You can start at the top and work your way down to the other car, is what she's saying there. So there's some great caches along that trail further down, and then you don't have to hike back up the hill to where you started from.
Right.
Good
There
suggestion.
you go.
Now,
Good advice.
without going too in depth into that, now Wits End and I have biked that tunnel in the event, and you can hit all those caches very quickly and get back. So
Yeah.
if you have a bike, it's a great way to move along, grab those caches quickly, travel quickly, and get back. If it's a trail or it's a rail road bed, so there's very little grade on it, and it's very well
Very
maintained.
smooth. Yeah, we walked it one year and then we biked it the next year, and I
Yeah.
prefer biking myself, but you can't bike it very fast through the tunnel because, well, it's dark and there's a lot of people on foot. So
Yes. And
Yeah.
if you listen to our interview, like Three Hams and a Rose said, great ape event interview. I plan on doing it for the first time this year. Learned a lot. Thanks. So if you listen to that interview with Hide and Seek, you understand just how much traffic is in that tunnel going through. So yeah, you're not going to bike quickly, though it is significantly faster than walking.
yeah. And even if it's a hot August day, bring a jacket because it's cold inside that tunnel.
It's 50 degrees in that tunnel.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And it drips water, so wear a hat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something else I learned. One other thing I'll just throw out, although there's tons of information, but go to the Ape event cache page. Again, GC code GC5F58Q. We'll have all that in the show notes. But go there, take a look at that to get all the details. And one other thing I'll throw out there, just maybe as a little bit more bait to get you to, if you've been to the Ape event and you've grabbed the caches before, you're like, I don't need to go back. There will be 6 lab caches. Geocaching adventure caches placed for the event. So, that's something you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. So there you go. You can look
And
at
I
that.
can't tell you
Fun.
the number of Munsies that will show up that day. If you've already got them all, more will be there. Breiling adds a very good point. Not sure if you saw it or not. Pre-order for Block Party merchandise is on right now.
Yeah, if you want it, it's best to pre-order because lineups can be busy most years. And this year, I think everything is going to be super crazy because they're going to have more people there this year, I would expect, than any other year.
Yeah.
Oh, and one other thing. If you're going to go, I think Bad Cop is what you're highlighting for me right now. If you're going to go to the Ape event, it's really important to be aware that you will need a Discover Pass, either a day pass or the annual. The parking attendants there will sell you a $10 day pass if you don't have one, but sometimes they run out, and sometimes it is just really busy and hard to get one in a timely manner.
Yeah.
So if you're planning on doing any amount of caching throughout the year in Washington State, it's just really worthwhile. We buy one every year, Discover Pass, an annual Discover Pass. What's it, $30? If that?
Exactly, $30 for the year.
Yeah,
So
it helps
if you're
support
going
the
for 3 days-
parks.
Yeah.
So it's a good cause. Support the parks we all cash in.
There you go.
Exactly. And if you're happening to want to do the geo tour across the 100 state parks, 100 caches in 100 state parks for 100 years, that pays for itself right there.
Yeah.
Many
There
times.
you go. Awesome. What else have we got? Maybe we're just about at the end of stuff, I think, here, folks. So maybe we'll just clean out a few more pieces of comment from the Q&A, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Q&A is very busy.
It is. That's
tonight.
awesome. We really
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks for
that,
joining
guys.
us.
Wet Coaster says there's also a big Iron Horse Trail in Alberta from Wakaskana. Did I do well?
Just got
That's
to know.
pretty good.
Northeast of Edmonton, ending in Cold Lake, Alberta. I don't want to end in a cold lake in Alberta. That sounds.
But you pronounced it great.
like
I don't
like
think
I've
there's
done
any other
something
kind of
wrong.
lake in northern Alberta.
Okay. Yeah, I pronounced Cold Lake properly. Thank
Yes.
Yes,
Very good.
you. Oh,
that's funny.
there's a. Oh, I got these out of order. Very many apologies, Doramore. Doramore's talking about a cache on the trail. That is the Iron Horse Trail. If you want to go down further downhill, you'll find an amazing
Downhill from the
cache,
Ape Cache.
which is, I'm assuming it's GCF800NE. I don't think it could be
I would assume that.
GL.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So,
yeah, that's
If
interesting.
you're going
So
downhill from the Ape Cache, you need to find that. Now,
she said it's an
Um,
amazing cache. We'll have to check that one out.
yeah, exactly.
I'm going downhill, but not from the Ape Cache.
The
Well,
whole
you've been to the
podcast
Ape
is that's
Cache and
okay.
you're still downhill, so.
I know.
Oh dear. All right. Well, that's awesome. And again, thanks everybody for participating in the Q&A tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We really enjoyed having you guys pitch in. Thanks to everybody from Canada and the UK, and not sure if we had anybody from the US in there tonight, but if not, I believe the entire Commonwealth is basically saying, "Hey, Americans, step it up." So
Otherwise, we're
yes, they
host.
otherwise, you're host. That's right.
We're going to have to learn that Celsius thing.
All right, folks. Hey, we want to remind you to check in again next week and catch our show on May 21st. We're going to talk about that Flight Cache Design Challenge. And sounds like Bad Cop will have some audio of Richard Garriott saying no. That's awesome. June 4th, we will have an interview with Dora Moore regarding the MVG Summertime Winter Games 2015. So we're really looking forward to that and the specific question Wits End has posed for her. June 11th, quite possibly, we have a live show from Muncie HQ. So we'll see if that is going to happen or not. And right now, based on the way that our math looks, June 18th will be our 100th episode with all kinds of magical surprise content and unicorns pooping rainbows. All right.
How do I follow that?
Hey, one quick update from the Q&A. Dormore says that URL was the URL for her log. That's why it was GL.
Oh.
So the
So the
cache
GC code is?
G2FHZ7.
All right.
With 124 favorite points, by the way.
That's right.
So it's probably a pretty good cache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you get that one, when on the same day you do the ape event, you'd get your mega event and a cache with 10 or more favorites.
Bingo.
There you go.
I bet the Ape event has 10 favorites on it.
Hey, if you get a cache with over 100 favorites, do you get 10 souvenirs?
Yeah, this one you'd get 10.24 or 12.4. So,
Yeah.
it depends. Yeah. That 0.4 one isn't any fun. You just throw that one away. Throw it away.
Oh, dear.
Okay. So, as we do, gentlemen, where on the entire interwebs can we find you if we want to talk to you directly, ask some embarrassing questions, and find out how many of the 0.4 souvenirs you found?
Well, I really encourage people to find me on the interwebs and follow us. That is at LandMonkeyGC. because some other person took Land Monkey before I could get it, and I'm still steamed about that, and I'm going to bring that up every episode. On Facebook, you can find us under Team Land Monkey. On YouTube, well, that's Land Monkey or Land Monkey's Geocaching Adventures. So look for us there.
And some great stuff you got there too, I might add.
Well, thank you, sir.
I'm out there at Wits End, just about everywhere. Twitter.com/WitsEnd, Facebook.com/WitsEnd, Geocaching.com, I'm Wits End, Hello.co/Wits End. You can even call me at 347 Wits End.
Really? How'd you get
Pretty
that?
sure.
I'm jealous.
It involved rainbow pooping unicorns or something.
Okay. Hey, I want to let you know, I was jealous that Wits End has everything Wits End, so I went ahead and changed my Twitter account to Caching NW. Yes, you can go to Twitter, Caching NW, Facebook, Caching NW, Google Plus. You go to google.com/plus Caching NW.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
How
hey,
streamlined.
you guys just are embarrassing me now with the how well set you are with your social media and how foolish I look with all my various.
We'll help you find the guy that has Land Monkey and we'll beat him up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That would definitely.
We'll convince him.
Yeah. We'll get Penny to. Never mind.
There you go. Hey, and listeners, it's time to wrap up the show. So we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. You can be part of the show. Call 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, correction, airline tickets, or a question any time of the day or night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Also, your support helps to keep quality shows coming. We would like more quality shows. So if you like this show, please click the PayPal button on the cachingnw.com website. This show is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2015 by Chris Umpenauer.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody. 73.
Good night, everyone. And we are clear of the recording. Oh, we got some good feedback here.
Wow.
3 hams in a row says, contact me and I'll hand out Land Monkey's cell phone number.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, thanks.
It's great. Go ahead and put it in the Q&A. We'll, make sure it's on YouTube.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I get enough odd calls as it is.
Doramore says, no, you won't interview me on that day. I'll be on the Sumatra Island.
Saturna.
She's
going to be on Saturn.
Oh, sorry. I saw an
All
She's
right.
going to be on Saturn.
We'll have to reschedule the day that we had in our notes.
Island. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, I'd love to stay in chat tonight. I've got a family obligation. I must scoot. So until we meet again.
Until we meet again in the case of Solvid.
Yes, it's in Solvid, yes.
Located.
Yes. So.
Wits End, have a great night.
Good night.
Have safe travels.
Take care.
Cheers.
So,
all right.
We convinced Breiling to come to the block party because there's going to be giveaways. He'll be there for sure now.
Well, that seems to work for most people.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Hey, Team Kiwi. Team Kiwi. What's with my accent today? I don't know. Team Kiwi wants to know how many are watching or listening live.
Well, that's always a hard thing to come up with. We get more people in the Q&A than I get reported on my console here from Google. So I don't know. Let me put it that way. A good solid, I'm really not sure how many people are. The stats for the live show, because you can go in on YouTube, you can go in on Google Plus, or you could just jump into Hangouts and go that way. So I don't know where the stats come from. They're never quite right.
Well, we definitely had at least half a dozen on the Q&A tonight.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
That's amazing. That's awesome, guys. We really appreciate that.
We could just start doing a normal talk show with Q&A rolling now. We don't even have to talk geocaching or plan anything ahead of time.
Well, that would make my life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And
Wet
what else
Coaster
we
wants
got?
to know, do Munsey events count? And I'm going to go with a good solid no.
Well, count for what? It's not going to count for a geocaching.com souvenir. I think
exactly. That's what I'm going for. They count for, well, Munsey and Eventsy.
There you go. Did they do? No, they don't count for Eventsy. Eventsy is like a totally different thing. That's like the scavenger hunt thing, isn't it?
Yeah, they're Munsey events though.
There are Munsey events, but that's different than Eventsy, which
true.
just makes life confusing.
Yes. And then what's the Statsy?
Statsy, yeah.
Yeah, it's all confusing.
Maybe we can get this sorted out when you're down there visiting with those good folks.
3 hams in a row says, I'm only half listening, so don't count me.
Oh, we'll count you as a half.
Okay.
That's all right.
But there's
even counting 3 hams in a row and a half, we still have more Canadians on than Americans.
We counted him 4 times, though. 3 hams in a row. That was 4 people I counted.
Ding.
Thanks. Doramore says she can't come to the block party. You can give my prize to some random cashier with my best wishes. Would you please send a handwritten note in, and we'll attach that to the gift and hand it off.
There you go.
Or
I'm sure that would.
I'll just wait and I'll pick something big and heavy and throw it at a passerby and say, "Hey, that's from Doramore."
Steel wheel with the trackable tag on it.
I was going to say, a cement block with a trackable tag on it. Yeah.
Concrete block. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Oh, dear me. Speaking of Doramore, you'll have to reach out to me. I'll have to reach out to you. We'll have to schedule and we want to do the interview then. If you're not going to make it onto the show, we can always record one offline.
Yeah, that would be the best
show. So that's an option too. What else do we have going on
Brylang. Do I need to mention Brylang is our research department? If you're over level 50 in Munsey, you can hold a Munsey event with an Eventsy event at the same time. Oh,
yeah, but it costs money to do an Eventsy event, I'm pretty sure. Because I thought that was the whole purpose of the Eventsy thing. It was intended to be like a commercial product that they can use at conferences and such.
Trade shows and such.
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
You're going to not like this next one.
Oh.
Doramore will be earth caching in Iceland that week.
Yeah. No, I knew that.
No pity whatsoever. Iceland.
I knew she was going on that geo tour.
There's more ice in Greenland than in Iceland. Iceland's actually greener than Greenland. They got those two names mixed up.
That's funny. But yeah, that's actually really cool. I want to hear about that when she gets back. That might be something really interesting to share.
3 hams in a row. Who's only half listening? It's still 2 people, right?
Yeah.
Can we gossip about Wit's End now that he's gone?
We usually do. So
we gossip right in front of his face. It doesn't matter.
That's true. So the answer is yes. So if you have something to share, 3 hams in a row, go ahead.
We might have to do. When I go down to Munsey headquarters, we'll have to ask about Munsey Land. The air is so heavy, you actually breathe in virtual Munseys there.
That's high humidity.
We'll have to talk about the Eventsy Munsey event tie-in.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
So
and our research department has confirmed that they do cost money.
Yes, I said it's not free to include an Eventsy with an event Munsey. And yes, Eventsy's events cost money. Wet Coaster has the details if you want them, Land Monkey.
Of course he does.
And of course, cool. Doramore is only going to Iceland for the Earth caches. Earth is all capital, like there's more than one.
I think as opposed to the ice caches, I don't know.
Ice caches or the traditional caches, the geo caches.
Is an ice cache like a virtual cache?
Not as long. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't get grandfathered in, especially during warmer weather.
What if it's a glacier?
It's moving, but so slowly, you may as well just keep the coordinates the same.
Okay, so it's not a moving cache. Okay.
Well, it is, but so's the Earth. Anything on the a geo cache on the Earth is a moving cache as well.
That's good. So it's good that we're not wasting anybody's time tonight and
No.
talking about very important things.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're just about done.
I think we are. There will not be an Avenzi event. Wait. There will not be an Avenzi event at the Munzie event on July 5th in Tynehead Park, in Surrey. I tried to read state park.
Okay.
Well, because,
Not a state park. No,
not
that is
you don't have states.
No. It's not even a provincial park. That's a regional park. Right. So Wet Coaster is promoting the Munzie event on the 5th of July in Tynehead Park in Surrey, but doing it in a confusing way.
Yeah. There will be no Eventsy associated with the Munzie event. It will be strictly a Munzie event and not an Eventsy event.
Oh dear. Okay. Sounds good.
C.
Yeah. I think we're Z'd out.
Or Z'd out. All
Even
right.
Z'd out.
Z'd. Ooh.
All right, folks, thanks so much for listening tonight and staying on live with us after Wits End bailed. It's been fun.
It has. Folks, we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Good night.